Hey, Shalom Akim. First and foremost, give all praise and glory unto Yahweh, Bashmi Shai, Bashmachak Kudash, the bonders under the elders of Apostle Green Millstone, the elders Green Millstone, and of course, peace and blessings under the hopeful elect. The sincere servants of Yahweh, Bashmi Shai, serving him in truth and sincerity. Yes, from the brother Chayaba from Z-Man's Plain Tables Camp, come back with another lesson to your spirit. Yes, this lesson be based off this article from nationalnews.com, which is entitled, it says, War on ICE intensifies. It says, cartels, gangs offer millions for attackers to target federal officers. And as we know, there's a lot of things been happening. Of course, ICE is coming down, National Guard, Trump, creating basically setting the Department of War, the Hegseth speech. Hey, again, going into what's going on. It's a lot of things happening. To read a little bit of this article, it says DHS Secretary Kristi Noem has disclosed that cartels, gangs, and T groups have placed bounties of up to $10,000 for the killing of specific immigration agents. And again, it's a lot of things happening. Let me go real quick to Google. Yes, so I went ahead and Google looked up National Guard and ICE News. It says Texas National Guard, Donald Trump threatens use of Insurrection Act as National Guard troops could arrive in Chicago area Monday. Hey, so they're already out there, man. Recently, you just had, let's go ahead and look this up. Of course, recently, you had some raids from, you had raids within Chicago from immigration agents. Yes, a military-style ICE raid on Chicago apartment buildings shows escalation in Trump's crackdown. See, so hey, things are popping off, man. And then you're at the point where people are starting to fight back. It says at around 1 a.m. on Tuesday morning, armed federal agents rappelled from helicopters onto the roof of a 5-story residential apartment in the South Shore, Chicago. The agents worked their way through the building, kicking down doors and throwing flashbang grenades, rounding up adults and screaming children alike, detaining them in zip ties and arresting dozens, according to witnesses in local reports. It says the military-style raid was part of a widening immigration crackdown by the Trump administration in the country's third-largest city, dubbed Operation Midway Blitz, which has brought a dramatic increase in federal raids and arrests. Hey, so there you have it. So again, things are popping up, but hey, at the same time, going back to this article, you're having people retaliate. To read this again, it says, going back to this War on ICE article, it says DHS Secretary Kristi Noem has disclosed that cartels, gangs, and T groups have placed bounties of up to $10,000 for the killing of specific immigration agents. It says that threats come amid political violence and are linked to previous high-profile incidents involving assassination attempts on political figures. The revelation comes after recent confrontations between immigration officials and protesters in Chicago, including an incident where immigration agents shot a woman involved in an alleged assault. Noem criticized local officials for providing hostile conditions for federal agents, stating they are even denied access to basic amenities like restrooms. The situation underscores growing tensions tensions between federal immigration enforcement and local governments, raising significant security concerns for those involved. So, hey, there you have it. So, don't think that it's just going to be Esau coming down like a madman sparing none. And, there's not going to be any type of pushback for it. Hey, as the scriptures say, 2nd Ezra chapter 15 and 14, it says, "Woe to the world and them that dwell therein, for the sword and their destruction draweth nigh. And one people shall stand up and fight against another, and swords in their hands." It says, "For there should be sedition among men, and invading one another. They shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their actions shall stand in their power." Yeah. Whether it be, these, again, the president, these officials, putting out these orders, placing laws into effect, mandates. Well, the point is that there's gonna be sedition. Let's go ahead and look at that word sedition. It says conduct or speech inciting people to rebel against the authority of a state or a monarch. Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. And we're only seeing the beginning of it. It's gonna get a lot worse. It says, verse 17, "A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able." Yeah. Cities will be blocked off. There's going to be checkpoints. It says, "For because of their pride, the cities shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword, and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread for great tribulation." Exactly. So again, Esau is going to come down like a madman sparing none, but Esau is going to increase it as the pushback gets even harder. It says Isaiah chapter 19 and 2. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and kingdom against kingdom." Exactly. So this is going into, and of course, the modern day Egypt is America, as it says in Revelation, or the book of Revelation. This place, Babylon the Great, which is America, is known as spiritually Sodom and Egypt. So spiritually, this place is called Sodom and Egypt. So we know that this verse right here is talking about the modern day Egypt. The modern day Egyptians is the modern day American, or what the modern day Egyptians are the modern day Americans. It says, "And I will set the Egyptians against the Egyptians, and they shall fight everyone against his brother, and everyone against his neighbor, city against city, and in kingdom against kingdom." Yeah, exactly. So again, there's going to be war on all sizes. This group versus that group, this party versus that party, and whatever classification you want to put on it. Again, so you're gonna have all these different groups against one another. And what is this going to? This going into a civil war. And meanwhile, you're going to have people fighting against the authorities. So again, the Lord's brewing up something big, and we can see it. And these raised in themselves show that, again, Esau can use any reason to send, those agents, those immigration agents. He can use whatever reason. And it doesn't matter if we have citizenship or not. If they deem it justifiable to get you, they can still get you. And we already know this is how they're gonna But ultimately, what Esau is gonna take the same approach into capturing the prophets. However Esau does it. Obviously, he's gonna put us in a bad light. And what he's gonna frame it, just like how he always does, and boy, make himself justified in the process. But scriptures prophesy the persecution of the prophets, but we understand Yahweh Bashim Yoshai will reserve the prophets, regardless. Scriptures say how we're gonna suffer. Some of us will suffer 10 days in prison, being thrown into prison, 10 days being assigned to completion. So however many days the Lord deems fit for you to be in the prison. But ultimately, Yahweh Bashim Yoshai will deliver us. So again, all these things need to come to pass, but we understand Yahweh Bashim Yoshai will reserve his elect, who's his brother, so to be a part of. So throughout all this, while we're watching Egypt and modern day Egypt fall, of course, we're praying unto Yahweh Bashim Yoshai that we're passed over. From those judgments. And again, we're gonna have to pass through the fire as well, but again, we're not gonna be judged like the wicked are gonna be judged. Ultimately, the Lord will have mercy and deliver the elect, and take care of the elect as promised. Scriptures say how we're gonna have abundance, and how the Lord would take care of his elect. So the point is that, again, civil war is brewing up. You're having all these different things happening at one time, showing you that without a doubt we are in those times. So Lord's very blessed and edified. Yahweh Bashim Yahushai, Bashim Kakodash Brakatham. Shalom.